We install Immich version 2.7.5 on Ubuntu using Docker Compose. 7 steps, roughly 15 minutes. This works on any modern Linux distribution with a 64-bit CPU, but the commands shown target Ubuntu 24.04. One assumption: you have shell access as a user with sudo. Let's check prerequisites. Prerequisites: 4 things. 1. A Linux machine with at least 6 GB of RAM and 2 CPU cores. 8 GB and 4 cores is recommended per the Immich docs. 2. A 64-bit CPU supporting the x86-64 v2 microarchitecture, required by the machine learning container since version 2.6. Most CPUs since around 2012 qualify. 3. Sudo access. Verify with the who-am-I and ID commands shown on screen. 4. An internet connection to pull images from GitHub container registry. With those in place, here's step 1. Step 1. We install Docker Engine and the Docker Compose plugin from Docker's official apt repository. Do not use the docker.io package from the Ubuntu repos. It is outdated and the Immich docs specifically warn against it. First, remove any conflicting older packages. The on-screen command purges docker.io, Docker Compose, Podman Docker, Containerd, and RONC. Next, install the prerequisite packages, CA certificates, and curl. Then add Docker's GPG key and the Docker apt source list. Update apt and install 5 packages: Docker CE, Docker CE CLI, Containerd.io, Docker BuildX plugin, and Docker Compose plugin. On success, you'll see Docker Engine version 29.4.3 or newer. The most common gotcha here: forgetting to remove the old docker.io package first, which causes a conflict during install. Confirm Docker is running. The first command on screen prints the engine version. The second runs a tiny Hello World container, which should pull an image and print a confirmation message. Optionally, add your user to the Docker group so you can run Docker without sudo. After that command, log out and back in for the group change to take effect. If Hello World prints its welcome message, Docker is ready and we move on. Step 2. We download the official Immich files. Create a working directory in your home folder. The docs use immich-app. Change into it. Then, download 2 files from the latest GitHub release: the dockercompose.yml file and the example.env file. The commands on screen use wget with the latest download URL, which always points to the newest stable release. As of recording, that resolves to version 2.7.5. Rename example.env to .env. List the directory. You should see 2 files. The single most common gotcha here: downloading these files from a random blog or an old fork instead of the official Immich app GitHub release. Always use the official URLs shown on screen. Step 3. Configure the .env file. Open it with Nano or your editor of choice. There are 3 variables you must set. First, upload the absolute path on your host where photos and videos will be stored. Use a path on a disk with enough free space, for example, /mnt/image/library. Second, db_data location, where Postgres stores its data. This must be local storage. Per the example.env file, network shares are not supported for the database. Third, db_password. Set this to a strong password using only letters and digits. Special characters can break Docker variable parsing. Optionally, set TZ to your time zone identifier, for example, etc/UTC. Save and exit. The gotcha: changing DB been created with the setcrillis world does not actually update the database password. Set it once, correctly, before the first start. Still in step 3, start the stack. From inside the Immich app directory, run the compose up command shown on screen with the -d flag for detached mode. Docker will pull 4 images: the Immich server, the machine learning container, a Valkey cache, and a custom Postgres image with vector chord and PG vectors extensions. The first pull downloads roughly 3 to 4 GB. Expect 2 to 5 minutes on a typical home connection. When it finishes, you'll see 4 lines, each ending with the word started. Run the Docker Compose PS command to confirm all 4 containers show status up. Gotcha. If a container shows status restarting, check the logs with Docker Compose logs. Usually it's a permissions issue on upload load. Verification. Open a browser on any machine on the same network. Point it at the host's IP address on port 2283. The on-screen card shows the URL format. You should see the Immich welcome page with two buttons, Getting Started and Login. Click Getting Started to create the admin account. Per the Immich Quick Start docs, the first user to register becomes the admin user. Enter an email, a password, a first name, and a last name. Submit. You'll land on the empty photo library. If you saw that page, you're set. Common errors. 3 you will likely hit. First, the page won't load on port 2283. Check that the firewall allows the port. The on-screen command opens it in UFW. Second, a container keeps restarting and the logs mention permission denied on the upload directory. Fix by setting ownership with che01 on the upload user's UID and GID. Third, you got the dbs.password wrong on first start and now the server can't connect. The fix is documented but blunt. Stop the stack, delete the Postgres data directory, and start fresh. There is no clean, in-place password rotation for the initial setup. With that, the install is done.